really expected that. If you're just joining us, this is Joey Vincent. Filter Free America, America with a K. One of my best friends, I've been talking about you all fucking night, dude. I'm just so fucking proud of you because you've been telling us all this shit for so many years, and then it plays through, and then of course you're the boots on the ground. And for me, it's like, as a avid libertarian, like, I watch news feeds get cut the moment shit happens. And I've been told my entire life that I am crazy. And now, because of you and because of a lot of other people, we have so many live streams that when the main media cuts away, here's soldiers on the grounds with cameras like you, fucking like, oh yeah, you're right, they didn't cut away the moment tear gas was used. There's public record of it.
Right.
And it's just, it's fucking nuts, you know? And like, that's the thing. This has to be a uniting moment. I don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. I don't care about All Lives Matters. I don't care about Blue Lives Matters. I don't care about Nazis. I don't care about any of that. It's literally us versus them. This is a corrupt oligarchy, and they're killing civilians without cause.
Right.
It's got to go.
That's part of my motivation. That's part of why I want to come down here. Because like I said, since I've been in public in either comedy or podcasting or radio, for the last 10 years, I've been screaming about, police accountability, and especially the Minneapolis Police Department. So I have to, put my money where my mouth is. And when it's something of this scale, I wanted to make sure I was down here to do my part to document it, to back up what I've been saying. I mean,
right.
There for a while, a lot of people would give me a hard time. They say, oh, you're too hard on the police. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm watching this. I'm reading this. I'm studying it. Is anything I can get my hands on about it? This is a problem. And I've been saying it, and people have been laughing off. And one of the things I would always say is like, okay, it's fine when it's just this random black dude or this somebody you don't know or something like that.
Right.
Eventually, it's going to get to a boiling point, and it's going to affect everybody.
But my opinion, and I want to know what you think about my opinion, because I've been saying this is my, so like I have not been boots on the ground. What I did is I have driven by it during the day a couple times, right? And the thing about it during the day is like there's this whole other story that's not really being told. The community is banding together. I mean, I went down to where the precinct was burned and the Arby's and all that shit today. I drove around in it. You know what I saw? A bunch of citizens directing traffic and everybody cleaning up the damage. Like there's this weird moment where we can come together as a community and realize that it's literally us versus them. And I know you and I disagree about like a lot of our shit, but like left and right, they're not helping. Like blue, red, we're all dead. It doesn't matter. But like what's so crazy about this is that this is such a catalyst. And like you literally have Black Lives Matter, you have white supremacists, you have fucking anti-fascists, you have nihilists and anarchists all fighting together against the system. And it's all over the country. And so here's what I thought was really interesting, right? I think that very first day was the black community mourning. And I think a lot of the black community was very peaceful. They were there to just fucking protest peacefully. They left. The next day they come back, and when they left at night, that's when the fucking like anti-fascists or like the white supremacists or whoever had an alternate motive to be there. Because it seemed like, especially from your feed and all the feeds I've seen, it seemed like a good 90% of the people were not like there to loot. Like, I'm not saying once looting started, they didn't partake. That's not what I'm saying at all. Yeah. What I'm saying is that the crazy part about it was like, it seemed like most of the people were not looting. They were there just strictly protesting. And there's something, I honestly believe that Fry, Walls, Ellison, they all need to resign immediately. Our government has failed this state, and this is crazy. You don't enforce a fucking curfew out there that you don't plan on enforcing. And Fry, you don't sit there while your fucking city burns because you want to prove a point. This doesn't do anything. It's just sad because I love this city, and I know you do too. I know as hard as you like to act, you love Minnesota. I know you do.
Oh, I do. I'm very public about that as well. Yeah, it's definitely, it's being co-opted, and something I refer to as the contagion of rioting and looting. And because I know there's some bleed over. I know there's some people that start out as protesters and end up as looters and rioters, and that's just the nature of it.
That's the nature of the game. I will never, like, I honestly, and you know this about me, I will never hold people accountable for looting when looting's an option, because if I'm an opportunist, dude. If I'm sitting, like, if I'm protesting and these motherfuckers broke into, like, a Magic the Gathering shop, do you know how much money I could make, Joey? Do you understand that? Like, my morals go, I'm a capitalist, bitch. My morals go out the window. Let's raid this Magic store. I don't know what they did, but fuck 12. Let's do it.
Well, can you just imagine if we had legal weed and there's weed shops now? That would have been the most crazy.
I don't know what weed is because we're live on Twitch and we're not allowed to do drug stuff. So
okay.
I just imagine it's CBD, but not for cowards, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man, but it's crazy, man.
What do you think? So like, you've been the last 3 days, you've been on the ground, just fucking going at it. Like, what has this experience done to change? Like, I bet it's just reinforced how you think, but is there anything that happened that, like, changed how you thought about just anything?
No, I mean, like I said, it's reinforced a lot, and it's an education. I'm understanding the dynamics of large protesting in groups. It's also something I noticed. See, this is the fourth night I've been doing it. I think it was the second night or whatever, when it was really kind of chaotic over by the third precinct, when the third precinct, and that's right there is amazing right there. Let's talk about that for a minute. A Minneapolis Police Department, third precinct, a U.S. police department in a major metropolitan area was overthrown by protesters.
No. 3 of them were overthrown. We had 2 one night and 1 the next night. 3.
No, but that was the only one they took control of. Am I right about that?
No, all 3. 2 of them were burned. 1 of them they caught before it burned.
Okay, well, maybe I'm out of the loop.
There's 3 total that the rioters took control of. But but you're not wrong. That makes it even better. Like, me and Tova were talking about this. I cannot remember a single other point in history where you actually had people taking control. And this is where I really get on Fry from Minneapolis, is like, imagery means a lot. You know that. I know that. Like, putting people in the image is a large part of comedy. It's a large part of life, right? You cannot let a bunch of disenfranchised citizens see citizens taking over and burning a police station. You can't do that, because there's way more of us than them, and the moment we realize, they're fucking done.
Well, not only that, not only is it public perception, but it's also, the police officers themselves. I mean, that puts you in a really weird position. You know, for so long, you think you're the superior person within the society, and that is, fuck what you think. That is what a lot of these cops think, that they're at this different tier of.
I believe people. I don't believe that, but I believe people think that. I definitely see people that definitely believe that.
Well,
this cop thing. I mean, like literally, like, this is one of the most heinous things I've ever seen. I mean, this video is like I thought that they weren't gonna get much worse, but here I am being proved wrong again.
Right. You know, when I say get worse, and but it's all relative. You know, if you tabulate all the crimes and victimization of people at the hands of police, not only Minneapolis but of the nation, it's really a fair response in that light. I mean, it's wrong to burn small businesses. It's wrong to do that, but it's all relative. This has been building. This has been a powder keg that's been building for decades.
Oh, I agree. And it was an unaddressed. It's an unaddressed powder keg in a city that's way behind equal rights, for sure. Yeah.
So I mean,
this is like you and I. I mean, we had that podcast where you and I got into it about the like this shit. Like, this is what I'm talking about, man. When I was on that, like, you got mad at me when I was like, Black Lives Matter is disorganized. It's not. This is what this shit takes. It takes out in-group fighting and just citizens versus them, because all of these issues. Like, I honestly believe that most of the race issues in this country are systemic on the way that we freed the slaves and we kept black people impoverished. Like, they're poor, and it's more of a poor-rich issue. Because classism is what fucking democracies have in spades. And what's so cool about this is, like, after the black community got a chance to mourn, and some of them stayed and protest, of course they did. But there needs to be a real answering from American citizens. I mean, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sex you are. I don't care your religion. I don't care about any of that. If you watch the video and you see anything but a law enforcement agent of your government murdering a citizen in cold blood, you're not paying attention to what the problem is. And it's a
Right.
culture thing. We need to change the way we train police because it's not a military zone. You're in a domestic zone where you can enter a situation asking questions. They enter in assuming that, oh, we're going to die, so then I got to go to my partner and all this other shit. But that's not what it is. But the main thing is that, like, we're at this weird precipice. You know how you and I have been talking about body cams?
Right.
I've been talking about that tonight on this show. And I think fuck body cams. Every single American citizen needs to be videotaping every interaction with a police officer that they witness. If all of us are going live all the time, we're well past the time where you record and then you upload. You can go live immediately. And if you get cut, if your feed goes down, the live footage is still fucking there. And this is how we get justice. Look at what's happening right now. This is only happening because video footage was there showing it. Like, without the video footage, we're fucked. This doesn't happen.
All right. Well, that's why I tell people. I mean, if you just think about, what it was before, before people had the cell phones, before people had security cameras, how bad do you think it was? Do you think it was less bad or more bad? I think it was probably considerably, more bad. And then right now, of everything that is caught on camera now, what still isn't caught on camera?
Well, and I've been talking about this with other people before, about how I believe that a large portion of the civil unrest that we have right now is due to the fact that everyone has a HD camera in their pocket. So when they're trying to suppress narratives, they can't do it. I mean, again, look at this whole situation. The mainstream media has cut out of these protests 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. every fucking night. The shit where you're seeing shit fall on power lines, because I've been watching you. You, fucking Riot Unicorn, Woke on Twitch, fucking Slut Cannon, fucking, what is that Andrew guy? Andrew, whose name I can't remember right now. Fucking Andrew. There are like fucking 8 or 9 people in the trenches sending live streams the whole fucking time. And every time, like clockwork, when shit gets rough or questionable, out goes the mainstream media. I literally was watching on a computer next to a TV. And the moment that they started tear gassing night 2, WCCO cut away. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to turn around and fucking fill us with panic. I mean, this is why I'm a libertarian, man. Fuck the government. They're not in your corner, and they never have been. And if you subscribe to blue, you subscribe to red, you're not paying attention to the issue. Just fucking frustrating, man. I've been ranting. It's just, and I'm sure you, like you're rational on the ground. Like the thing I like most is, like, your commentary in the moment is so rational, you know? Like, you're going under these strenuous situations. You're like, what? And I've seen so many people trying to play fucking journalist. You are better than 80% of professional journalists I've watched. And here's the thing, Joey, you know this. I don't really like you. I fucking hate giving you compliments. You know that about me.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's where the environment that I grew up in, and a lot
What's
of times.
What's the environment for people that don't know you? Like, tell them who you are and where to find you.
Well, speaking to my environment, I mean, I put myself, it was my own decision, to put myself in kind of bad situations when I was younger, and I was a former crack dealer, and I've had a lot of interactions with police from an angle that most people don't get. I've been, terrorized by police because a lot of the people I hung out with were minorities, the people that I was around. So I've seen it up close and personal without, not feeling it the same way as a black person probably does, but I've seen it probably more intensely than most white people have. So I'm used to it. I've kind of gotten over the shell shock of being around. So when all this stuff goes down,
But Minneapolis is legit one of the most racist places you've been, right?
Well, I was born in southern Missouri, so I definitely give a credit to that. But
I don't know. I feel like even in the deep South, because you used to tell me about how shit you saw the Minneapolis Police Department was fucked up in relation to shit you saw in the South.
Well, in the South, the difference is they own it. It's not a surprise down there. If they want to use the N-word and talk about the general public or police, it's like, oh yeah, they just said the N-word, of course they did, type attitude. The Confederate flag is still displayed and waved around. I mean, my father's a stone cold racist, so I mean, it's a commonplace thing. Here, it's more, it's really sneaky. It's really sneaky here. So their racism isn't as bold as it is. It comes out in different ways up
Like
here.
it has Humvees and runs around in the shadows.
Yeah, that too.
What did you see, like over the course of all this, that changed anything? Like, what do you think is the most fucked up thing you witnessed over all of this?
I, it's the biggest problem for me is the debating about the what they're putting their energy into, talking about the looters
No,
and
I do hate that shit. I
the
mean, like you and I argued about that. My whole thing with like Black Lives Matter specifically is like just a lack of organization. If you're going to be that kind of crew, you have to get on board with what you're actually going to do and how you're going to do it. Like with protesting,
that's a different thing. I mean, the scope between blocking a road to protest the murder of somebody at the hands of the police versus burning down a small business is a giant leap.
well,
Now,
and here's the other thing
and I
too.
can argue-
There are a lot of white supremacists that were in the thing, and like I believe a lot of that shit. Like you know that there's some racist white people showing up. Like, hey, if we destroy this shit, they're gonna blame the blacks.
Right. Well, I mean, I've proven that in multiple streams. I mean, if you just go to my stream last night when they were setting the fire on the Wells Fargo, I caught them lighting the fire, pouring the gasoline from a gas can into the entrance.
I didn't even see that shit.
Yeah, it's on one of my streams from last night, and it's a white dude that's doing it. You know.
Of course.
So
why wouldn't it be? I mean, that's like the St. Paul shit. They arrested a bunch of people in St. Paul, and nobody there was from St. Paul. No one.
Right.
No one was from the area that they're fucking up.
But
Tom Chilstrom says a lot of white guilt behind Minnesota racism.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh shit, I have the channel muted. Hold on. There we go, guys. Boom. Everybody's unmuted. If you have questions, let me know. But yeah, no, it's just I don't like giving you compliments, you know that, like I said, but I feel like you really put on your big boy gloves, man. Like you're a giant fucking man child, but you acted like a fucking man. That's all.
Well, I've got to back up what I said, but really, I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I am always surprised when you back up what you say, but you always do. So I don't know why. I think it's the neck tattoo. I never trust you to back it up, but like, fuck, you do, man. It's great.
Fair enough, but I mean, it's I don't feel like it's anything heroic. I feel like it's a kind of a duty for me because of how loud I've been about these issues. If I don't put myself here, and I'm just another person sitting at home typing on their computer pretending like they're outraged.
Can I tell you a private conversation I had with a person that you know?
Sure.
So I was on the phone with a Mr. Brian Gray.
Okay.
Right? And people will know that we were the trilogy that wrote on the Chronic Zen podcast. I was hanging out with the co-host earlier today, but me and Brian, like when you were first covering this shit, right? Brian calls me and he's like, "Holy shit, are you watching Joey's feed?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man." And he goes, "Oh, we're never gonna hear the end of this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Because that's the thing is like I've known you. I've been telling. I have like. I know you don't like my products, but you should watch my talk show. It's called TwitchTok. It's on Twitch, right? But I've been basically like eating crow about you for 4 fucking days. And I don't like that. But the thing I will always say in all of this is that you were very vocal and trying to warn all of us very early. And I personally, I can't vouch for anybody else, I personally just took that as like, oh, Southern dude moves from Minneapolis and thinks Minneapolis cops are racist. Story I've heard all the time because it turns out Minneapolis cops super fucking racist.
Right. And even the ones that aren't racist, I mean, it's bigger than that. I mean, it's bigger than that.
It's the fact that it was a cold-blooded murder of a citizen. It's not even about anything else. I believe that 100%.
Right. As I say, it's not just racism. It's violent practice. It's the kind of training they're giving cops now, the fear that they're instilling in cops now. It's not just racism. It's being trained. It's being ingrained. And you got people like the head of their union here in Minneapolis, Bob Kroll. What
is the deal with that guy? How can we not get that guy fucking fired? That dude is fucking garbage, and it has been for years.
Well,
no diggity says crow is tasty. It tastes like chicken. If anybody in Discord has any questions or whatever, feel free. Everybody's unmuted. Go ahead. But yeah, no, it's absolutely bananas, and as far as the front line goes, you were there, man. And tonight it was crazy because I watched them. I literally was drunk on here yelling because I watched them fucking separate all the protesters. I'm like, what are you doing? You stick together, you pieces of shit.
Did you watch it when we actually got gas?
Yes, but like everybody, when you guys got gas, everybody scattered in like 4 different directions. If all of those protesters had scattered together, they could have regrouped and done something.
I don't know, man. They were coming from every angle, man.
No, they were. They had you surrounded. They were doing a netting technique. But what you guys did, what the protesters did, right? And again, check it out. I'm back at Battle Center, bro. If this is the Punisher, you're Frank Castle and I'm Microchip. That's just what I have to deal with. But like, I watched this shit, and what they did is they surrounded you on all axes, and then they just started crushing in, and then they divided you guys bit by bit by bit. If all the protesters had focused like this, and this is going forward, if anybody's listening and plans to keep protesting, this is how you do this. You stay together. The whole thing is that you outnumber them. They have better equipment. They have better guns. They have better everything. The only thing we, the people, have is the numbers. And the moment you lose the numbers, you lose. And guess what they do the entire time? They strategize how to make you lose the numbers. Because what they did is they hit you guys up, and then they forked you through Uptown. Some went running back to Hiawatha because they thought the regroup point would be there. Others went through Uptown because they thought the regroup would be Midtown or wherever else. Now they have 7 easily containable groups that they can hunt down and control. That's how it goes. That's basic military.
The only thing we were missing was the numbers. And now do we know what the final report is? I don't even know what the final report is. The number of National Guardsmen that are here in the cities now working. What it went up to? Do we know?
I have no idea. Wait, I have a computer. What do you want specifically? I'll Google it. Here,
how many National Guardsmen have been activated that are in the Twin Cities?
I don't know. They keep fucking lying about the numbers. Like they keep lying about it. They said 5,000 last night. Bullshit.
Well, if they were going to lie, they would probably lie over just to make it seem like they had a more impressive force than they did. I don't think they would lie under because they don't want to do this. It says
4,100 citizen soldiers.
Okay. So that's,
but then they say, and airmen. 5,000 is the number I heard throwing around. So I would suspect it's 5,000.
Well, the first night they had 500. So it's a considerable difference. So it's really both sides. If you look at it, from the strategy point of view, both sides are kind of learning each other's tactics. And it was just, like what happened down at the 3rd Precinct and yesterday when they had the conflict that I captured down there under Hiawatha. It was just superior numbers overrunning them. So now they've got the numbers, the police, speaking of the police. So I'm anxious to see what happens from here. A lot of the protesters are getting arrested right now. So their numbers are going to dwindle a little bit. But what's tomorrow going to look like? It's going to be the same thing, but maybe they're going to relearn. Maybe they're going to be more aggressive.
The other thing, though, is like there's 5 other cities that picked up protesting tonight. So at some point, even if it dies down here, they're going to run out of National Guards to kill it.
Yeah.
And at that point, like if that's what happens, if everybody gets deployed here and they're able to disperse it locally in Minneapolis, we did our share. Yeah. Like we did our part. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like like I said, man, I'm so fucking proud of you because it was a giant gut test of accountability and you passed with flying colors and I fucking love it.
I would just say save your pride for the actual protesters who are down here doing legitimate protesting.
No, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Here's the thing. They also get accolades because they fucking stood up for what they believe in. But here's the thing. Right. There were literally 3 people I saw on the ground consistently over this. You were one of them. Unicorn Riot and Andrew, whatever the fuck his last name is. I can never remember it. Fuck is that name?
Well, I want to give extra thanks there. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen from these protesters, not only just the fact that how they work together, their compassion to each other, creating these first aid stations for each other. There's a lot of organization, but also sheer bravery. I've watched protesters sit cross-legged in front of a line of 50 plus police officers shooting tear gas, and they're sitting there holding their sign or their hands up or they're chanting, getting gas. What happened to me is just minimal relative to what I've seen happen to some of these truly dedicated and brave protesters who are doing it right. And that definitely needs to be acknowledged.
I just fucking like. I'm so proud of you, buddy boy. I just like. I don't know, man. No Diggity says you need to stand with your accountability, buddy. National Guard is per state, Corey. Yeah, I know it is, and I also said from the beginning that if live rounds were fired, it would not be the National Guard. I believe that. I believe that if live rounds come in one of these civil uprusts, no matter where it is, right? If live rounds get fired on the hand of the government, it will be by police. I do not imagine any military general that would knowingly order their troops to fire on American civilians. I just, like, the entire dichotomy of what they're doing does not allow that.
No National Guard really wants to get
right, and they're all National Guards are all citizens. Like, they're not even military guys. They're people that like wanted to get military money to go through college and then get called up. Like, hey, want to move a couch? Like, that's what the National Guard is. People don't realize that. Yeah. But the National Guard, when you get mad at the government or the army, or the National Guard is you, dude. Like, literally, the National Guard is a part-time job for probably a percentage of everybody knows somebody in the National Guard. And they like, it's not about that. Like, there's a great picture. I think you shared it with that National Guard lady crying.
Oh yeah, that was actually a still shot from my stream.
Yeah, that was one of the most powerful things I saw over the course of all of this. I mean, just like, because I really empathize with that woman, and I know you and I feel differently about cops. My grandpa was a cop, and I have friends that are cops. And I will tell you this. I'll tell you this flat out, right? Every single person I know that was a cop, they want this person, they literally want to go dark and maybe handle it themselves. Like, this is a really bad one for everybody. Like, outside of MPD, like, because they will still put their fucking arms around each other for cronyism. Like, every other cop that is not a piece of shit wants this dude dead.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I have seen a lot. I don't know. I'm always, I'm jaded when it comes to police, so I'm like.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you and I come from completely two different environments when it comes from cops. Check it out. I don't like cops, and I don't trust them, but I understand their societal function, and I know a lot of them, so I know enough good cops to where I know there are them. But here's the thing. Like, those guys would turn vigilante. Like, if everybody, like, no lie, if everybody would just look away for a second right now, you would have police officers take care of this for you. No lie. That's a thing that would happen right now.
Well, see, that's, to argue with that, that's kind of the problem. We don't want vigilante justice by law enforcement.
No, I'm saying like throw them in a cage and lock them up. Like, I'm not saying like hang them from a bridge. It's not fucking Gotham, you neck tattoo fuck.
But that's what I'm saying is that's kind of where I am at with police. I'm not where I hate police.
Yeah.
I just hate the condition of law enforcement. Like, I look at law enforcement as a very honorable job. It's a needed thing.
It's a
society.
needed thing to society, and we should
have
right
now is rogue police departments across the country doing things like they would in a battlefield.
Right, and we should privatize them so that we could just fire them and hire a new one. Privatize everything, all the time. Always.
I think that's a way more steps away from where we're at right now.
I don't think it is. Fire the police department. Let's grab some Securitas officers. We got this.
Right.
I want some high school dropouts that couldn't make the police force to fucking be police. That's what I want. Let's see what kind of bully culture they'll lead to. It'll be interesting. And it won't be focused at minorities. It'll be focused on dicks that fucked them over in high school.
That's true. Well, hey, I'm getting moving again here, so I got to check my notes and see where I'm going.
Sure. Where are you going next?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
But are you staying out tonight as late as normal?
I don't know.
Okay.
If I can get to something, I'm going to film it and I'm going to stream it. If not, I don't even know if I can get home because all the roads major roads are blocked. I mean, my car is identified as a press vehicle with placards.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Which is also a baller move. Good for you.
Right.
But also, okay, but you consent to me showing your footage on my channel, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Of course. I want anybody can.
Somebody like sent me a text message when I was watching your video feed, and they're like, "You don't have the rights to that." And I go, "Do you want me to text the dude and get the rights to him? Because I'm pretty sure he won't answer the text because he's live right now."
Right. I said it on my stream a couple nights ago. Is just as long as you credit me, anybody can use it. Anybody can rip it. I want more people to see it as possible. I'm not trying to make any money off of it.
I know.
I'm not monetizing it. When I put it on YouTube, it's going up completely free.
Are you streaming free? Are you streaming directly to YouTube too?
No, that's what Brian is actually helping me with right now. He's editing.
Could you please do that? Because Facebook is really fucking with you. Like, the real good streams are through. You have to get Twitch or YouTube. Those are the two best live streaming applications. Like,
Okay.
And what you do is after you're done, like when you're YouTubing it, right? You can just share it to Facebook. So everybody on Facebook, and I've been sharing all your posts. I've been following you. Big fan of your work, as a matter of fact. But okay, well, you go back and keep doing the Lord's work. I really respect you. I got your back, and we're gonna be having you as one of our feeds the entire night.
Sounds good. All right, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Hey. Two things, right?
What?
Stay safe, right?
Yep.
And can you tell people that fuck the 12th really means fuck the DEA, which I'm okay with, but it's just a weird thing to yell?
I haven't figured it out. I thought they just hated numbers.
No, I think it's like 12. Like there's somebody on your 12, you know, so they're like fuck 12, but like 12 is the DEA.
It's a prison. I think if I understand it correctly, it's a prison reference.
Oh, is it?
That's
Okay. Okay.
I've never
because like the 12
yet.
in slang is literally the DEA, which I am also down with. Like fuck 12 for sure. But I just don't think these people are really on my side when they're saying fuck 12.
All right.
All right, buddy. Have fun. Go get them.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That is Joey Vincent from Filter Free America. And the channel is unmuted again. What up, Tom? Are you still there? Doima's there. Tovar Blue. Tovar talks all this shit, and then he dips out. That's what happened. Tovar's not in Discord anymore because he's a coward. Tovar just forfeited his right. Tovar, if you don't say anything in Discord in 30 seconds, you're forfeiting all your rights. Timer begins now. Doima, say something.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, shit. Present and accounted for. Tom Chilstrom, say something.
Hello.
Oh, shit. Also present and accounted for. Stephen Tovar, say something.
All right, so you know how I said earlier that there was a gal who said that she was shot in the eye with a rubber bullet?
I'm playing tumbleweed sounds.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, hold on. We need another voice. Ellie, if you're here, say something. If Ellie Mae is here, say something.
Hello.
Oh, shit. Everybody present accounted for but Tovar. Okay. Go ahead. It's just, Tovar, if you're here, say something. Nobody? Ugh. It's just sad to see a guy lose this. Oh, well. All right. Tom, Doima, you guys are still in. Tovar's not here saying anything, so there's nothing that can be done about that. What?
I'm here.
What do you mean
I'm
you're
here?
No, we gave you too many opportunities.
Oh, Jesus.
Now you have to eviscerate. Now you have to eviscerate Tom. Go.
Oh, well, Tom, that's really easy. Fuck Tom.
Fuck Tom.
Really eviscerating me on that one.
Instead of fuck 12, it's fuck Tom.
Fuck Tom.
Fuck Tom. See, it's catchy.
Wait, are you trying to say that Tom? Are you trying to say that Tom is a cop?
You're trying to tell me that Tom doesn't look like a cop? Come on, man.
Tom, are you a cop?
See?
I'm not a cop.
Wait. Hold on. All right, Tom. If you're not a cop, say you're not a cop now. JK, I muted him. I muted him, you guys. Okay, go ahead, Tom. You're unmuted. Are you not a cop?
I'm not a cop.
Right, see, it leads a little bit more precedent to why Tovar never speaks up, you know? Right, Tom? Doima, are you here?
Yo.
Tom, are you here?
Yep.
Ellie Mae, are you here?
Yep.
Tovar, if you're not a pedophile, say something. Wait, Tom, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
Doima, are you still here?
I am.
Ellie Mae, are you still here?
Yes.
Huh. Tovar, are you here?
No.
Wait, so you can talk? You're just not going to defend yourself? Jesus Christ, dude, this looks bad. Looks bad. I don't want to brag, but the optics look bad.
Hey, man, if I can't control the narrative, I'm going to lean into it.
Yeah, that's... I know that about you by playing 2-on-2 pirate games. If you can't control the situation, you just lean into it. Like, all right, let's go port. Fuck it. That's some nautical talk, bro.
Yeah, it is, man.
Speaking of license plates, according to Facebook, Shea Webby had the license
So wait,
plate
hold
stolen.
on. Doima, Tom, Ellie, Tovar, everybody's here. What do you guys think about that license plate swapping video? That shit's crazy, right?
Super suspicious.
Right.
Crazy. There's been police chatters.
And like the
St.
way
Paul.
that chick just smugly looks at him like, yeah, go call the cops.
Yeah.
You do that.
There's been people driving around in St. Paul the last couple of days with no license.
I know.
According to Facebook,
all right, hold
Shea
on.
Webby had her shit
Check it out.
stolen.
Everybody's unmuted. So, wait. Yeah, everybody's unmuted. Cause havoc. What were you saying, Doima?
According to Facebook, Shea Webby said her license plates were stolen from her car in front of her house.
I fucking bet. All right, I'm gonna go pee again. You guys just keep bobbling it. You'll be fine. I got you. We're gonna go this one. Boom. There you go.
What's bobbling it?
I don't know. I gotta pee.
Yeah, so do I, man. I was like literally in the bathroom muting my mic, and then you're like, "You guys bobble it." I'm like, "Son of a bitch." Kind of selfish.
Good
man.
story, Tovar.
Hey, you know what? You haven't added much to the conversation tonight, Tom.
Oh, really?
I tuned into WCCO again. Brrr. That's Tom. That's what Tom sounds like.
And I was giving information in case other people weren't watching that or trying to do other feeds and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, sure. If you want to keep up this attitude that you're somehow superior to me, go ahead.
I'm not superior to you, Tom. I really appreciate you. I just like busting your balls.
See, there's the truth now, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm never going to admit that publicly.
You just did.
No, man, this isn't public. You're silly.
No, this is going straight to Twitch, man.
Yeah, but like, who's watching this show really?
There's 34 viewers.
Yeah, but none of the people that are watching right now believe anything that I say.
Right.
So, because of that, I can say anything I want, and none of it's true. Like, for instance, I could say, Tom, I really appreciate and look up to you and value you as a person. You see? You see how hilarious that is? Because nobody in their right minds believes that I would ever say that and mean it.
Well, Doimo will laugh because he's never heard the word respect before.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
That's the best burn, Tom.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it, and I didn't say anything afterwards.
Yeah, man.
I'm learning. I'm evolving.
I'm kind of glad it's a quiet night, man. I've had so many just freaking crazy, just nuts nights that like, I'm glad that I don't hear sirens all night out my freaking windows. This is kind of a welcome relief.
Well, where you live in St. Louis Park is already pretty loud with airplanes and everything like that, and you can hear traffic and stuff on 7 and
yeah,
394 and also.
Well, I mean, we haven't had a whole lot of air traffic, to be honest with you, since the pandemic and the shutdown, just because there's way less air travel.
Well,
like,
that's true.
We had a whole month where it was like, I would say April, maybe like 1 or 2 planes a day would go by, and it was usually in the later evening.
Yep. So this is an interesting feed that Corey put up because it looks like every city is pretty quiet today.
I know they were in like a bunch of cities earlier, but I think they all got doused with tear gas and went home.
Shit's looking pretty busy in Vegas.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing. The states that are like an hour or 2 behind us are still probably going to pop off for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, LA's had a couple fires and stuff, and at least a few businesses, from what I've seen, from some feeds out there.
Honestly, where was it?
Break-ins.
Was it Colorado or was it Chicago, dude? Chicago, they were lighting fucking cop cars on fire like crazy today. Chicago had a bad day today.
It's kind of weird because I haven't seen a whole lot of feeds from Chicago, which is odd because, you figure that somebody has a fucking camera up or whatever, but.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot like New York in Chicago, too. I think they're suppressing them. I mean, look at, there's not a lot of videos are coming out of New York right now.
No, there's not a lot of videos coming out anywhere, guys. And that's the real problem is that, we think it's died down, but the reality is that like we don't know what kind of access we have to videos because we don't know like what's being suppressed and what's not, what's being picked up.
Although, did you see that wild link I posted from New York City? It's in the feed, the
Discord. I'll have to go back and
Discord
look at
feed.
it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's like cop cars getting smashed in New York City. Like they were advancing on them. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's been probably, I would say, at least $250 million in property damage in the last week between like all the cities that have lost cop cars and police buildings and shit like that. I wonder what Brooklyn's doing. Brooklyn took a police precinct last night. I'm curious how they're doing tonight.
It's even crazier. It's like whoever thought that Fargo would have tear gas put on their demonstrations. Like they tear gassed in Fargo. That's fucking insane. Whoever would have guessed that shit.
Well, and that's the thing is that like you guys are really afraid of Fargo getting out of control. Are you kidding me? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
It's like all the riots in St. Cloud that happened yesterday, Steven.
Yeah.
All of those terrible riots that were gonna destroy the city of St. Cloud.
People let their fear control them, man. They just they freak out. They like want to believe these narratives, And I mean, I guess they had a right to be a little apprehensive. I mean, just an hour and a half away, there's like these big crazy riots going on. But like, to think that small town Minnesota is somehow going to break into a big, huge next race riot is just like that's pretty comical.
Well, the best part is the businesses that actually boarded up in St. Cloud are so far away from where the actual demonstration was being held. It made no sense. So there's there's a Fresh Time grocery store and an Aldi, and they're in Waite Park, and they are boarded up. Even this evening, they're boarded up.
What up?
But yeah,
I'm back.
we're just talking about
the riots in fucking St. Cloud.
Talking about all those riots up in St. Cloud, Corey. Just
It looks like Joey just went live again. Bella, get over here.
So, if St. Cloud was going to burn, does that just basically mean Crossroads Mall and the campus gets burned, and that's about it?
We've got a Five Guys too. They burned the Five Guys, I'm sure.
Well, just wait. Just wait until the owner.
Because best burger ever is the best burger ever.
God, I love this. See, and you guys wonder why he's getting your job.
Wait, no, I don't. I don't.
I was just mocking St. Cloud. I was going to just say, wait till Five Guys falls into hard times, and the owner will just light it on fire.
Oh, I get it. That's that bar owner that lit his shit on fire reference.
See, there you go.
I got you.
I walked past that place today. The Press.
I love that it's called The Press.
The guy was just an innovator, man. He knew about this shit happening well before. He's like, you fucking guys. I did this well before you all.
Well, the greatest irony is if he would have waited 3 more weeks, he could have just claimed COVID took his business.
It's definitely getting more rowdy.
It was like seriously,
I don't even think that white
3
dude did
weeks
anything.
before the.
So woke isn't even covering Minnesota anymore.
1.3, 1.3.
Well, that's odd.
At one point, 3 of these fees were Minneapolis. But as of right now,
I'm pretty sure no reason, dude. I didn't see him do anything.
What's burning on Unicorn Riot?
That's Minneapolis. Or no, that's Philadelphia. I think they're in Philadelphia. Fucking pigs, man. Oh yeah, so this is St. Paul, so it's popping off in St. Paul now. So that's kind of the like beauty of the Twin Cities, right? You contain one of them, that doesn't mean shit.
True.
Where's this? This is DC. Is DC still popping off? Let's take a look. Not that live. God damn it! Fuck you, YouTube. Yeah, that's what I just said. It looks like Vegas and DC are all popping off. That looks like to me the thing.
Like probably 8th and 115th.
8th?
Or 8th and 115th. Or
8th, 15th, and 8th?
15th and whatever street this is. Because I know that's 8th Street, so I'm off by 1.
15th and I think is all blocked.
Okay, let's see. Let's see where our buddy Andrew is doing. Hold on. Oh, Joey's back up and live. So we will pop that
grenades. And yours truly got caught right in the middle of it. And onto kind of some of the choicier moments. And we're going to be loading those
Vincent.
up on YouTube.
He was literally just
he might
on our
already be
show.
starting doing
So
it now.
we're
There
gonna
may already be
watch
some
him
loaded.
and experience it
But,
through his eyes.
Well, basically, they'll be...
But first, whoops, I'm going to bring up this one. Pop this over here. And then that, and that, and that,
condensed down into the hot moments.
That.
With the most conflict, or you know, the craziest stuff that I caught on my streams, so everyone will be able to kind of look back and you know, see all the high points, so to speak, including me getting maced multiple times, or not maced, but I guess tear gassed. That's always fun to watch.
He did
right?
get tear gassed multiple times. That's a pretty weird flex.
All right, so I'm gonna take this down to Lake Street. We're in the
Who's
Lynn
flexing
Lake
on Joey's
area
tear
right
gassing?
now. That's
No, I'm just saying, like, he's like, he
Lake
got
is
his
the
tear
next,
gassing cred.
street up here.
Yeah, like a lot too. Jesus.
Yeah.
And then when we turn left, we're gonna basically kind of be in the uptown area, more or less. I've heard mixed reports about the number of air and National Guardsmen that are in the cities right now, backing up the law enforcement in the area. I heard somewhere anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 National Guardsmen and airmen. I've seen many of them. When I was relaxing in my car after the last encounter that I documented, there's some protesters, looks like right here. I saw a convoy of multiple heavy-duty troop transports,
Just so everybody sees the logo.
and Hummers, you know, cruising through the city. What else? Oh, I was looking at some of the news from the other parts of the country, and one that kind of stuck out to me was what's going on in Nashville right now. It was reported to be by my
so
girlfriend.
WCCO was
She's
just
keeping
on
track of the news,
24th
and she
and
said the
Cedar.
Grand Ole Opry,
And the
pop
whole
links. Links. We
a very
need links.
historic place for people who are fans of country music.
Whoa, they burned down
apparently
the
on
Grand
fire
Ole
now.
Opry? Awesome.
That's pretty crazy. Earlier today, I saw the college.
Wait, are
College,
you serious? They
I
burned
think
down
College
the
Football
Grand
Hall
Ole
of Fame,
Opry?
or
Joey
maybe
just
College
said
Sports
that.
Hall of Fame. I'm not sure. I think it's football. Yeah, College Football Hall of Fame.
Cool.
That had been looted
Yeah, that's what I said.
previous night. What else is going on? There was a courthouse, I think, in Tennessee. A historic courthouse was burned down. What's going on is pretty crazy right now. 41,000 troops. All right. I can only see your guys' messages when I slow down and so forth, so I'll try to answer what I can. So here we are. If you're not familiar with the area, we are in Uptown now. We're going to turn down Hennepin, and I'm not seeing anything out here right now. I might actually go home early tonight. I'm pretty exhausted. I've been exhausted. It's my 4th night in a row out here doing this. So it's starting to catch up with me. I'm gonna drive down this way a little bit, then maybe I'll pull over and check your guys' messages and see if you've given me any clues of where to go or what's going on.
This is what I love the most, is that when he does these shows, like, he's basically like, hey guys, tell me where you want me to go and I'll go. It's like fucking phoning in your journalism.
Sounds like you guys are having a little bit of debate in the feed, I guess. Let's enjoy that for what it is. Wow,
He talks about it too.
It's
before
creepy
he
being
goes
out here
anywhere.
this
He
time of night,
actually, on
Right.
Facebook, he
seeing what I'm
asks
seeing,
questions,
which
he
is
sends out
nothing.
text
No people,
messages.
no
You know, he's
nothing.
trying to get as much intel as he can before he goes out and does these things.
We're currently under a very strict curfew, apparently, like many other places are. I do have press identification placards on my car. So there's a good opportunity. I maybe get pulled over. I might not. Who knows?
Brian, that headset of yours
That might be the most
connects
exciting
to
thing I can show
Discord
you at this
so
point.
terribly.
Connects to everything. He's terrible on Xbox Live too.
It's not this bad on Xbox Live.
I don't know. It's pretty garbage.
I'm gonna go right over here. I'm gonna pull over in the next block here. And I'm gonna check your guys' comments. See if any guy has any good information about anything that's near me that I can document. If not, I'm probably gonna be done for the night. Try to make my way home. A lot of houses intermingled with the businesses on this part of Nicollet that I'm on, or Hennepin that I'm on. Or is that Hennepin and Orange Freedom I on? I'm sorry.
Check. All right.
Hennepin.
Yeah, nobody's fucking
Right here.
That's
a good example of one right there. I'm seeing lots of boarded up stuff like that.
The link that you're watching.
People letting the rioters know that, yeah, it's a business at the lower level, but there's people living upstairs. I'm just looking over your guys' messages here right now. Omaha is pretty bad. 4,000 troops are rotating out. That's how many troops we've got. 4,100 troops. It's midnight here in Minnesota. Yeah, it's 12:02 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's also getting crazy back in the Franklin 3rd Precinct area, really. I don't know.
Yep, I've already been shot.
Yeah, guys. You know what?
Shot at
Just because of the
Whoa,
time
shit,
and just
hold
because of my
they're crazy.
Hold on. The guy was shot? That's fucking crazy. Alright. Let's redo this.
Yep, I've already been shot. Shot at with they're crazy. Yes, we did run into a young man who was shot by a real bullet. They're trying to get him to the hospital right now. Okay, so again, Hennepin. No, it's not Hennepin. Sorry, Lake and 35. Hennepin's about a mile and a half behind me. This is messed up. Wow. You guys okay? You came for? Was that anything happening down there? Oh no. Okay, just making sure. We're trying to stay away from some bullshit. You know, we want to get behind it.
Okay.
It might be easier to grab my Facebook.
I don't have Facebook. I have Twitter.
Okay.
I know.
Time
I know.
to shine.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Hey,
Grab my
trying
number.
to pick up a chick. Now we good.
Since fucking over 400.
They don't march on this though, right? The like memorial site, they just leave that. As long as the violence quells, they don't do shit, right?
Correct. So long as the violence is gone, they don't give a shit.
Right. Brian, I like how you sent me a link, but it's just a dude like, give me your name, man. Dude's trying to pick
There's
up
guys. There's a link I had up a minute ago that there's guys actively guarding the memorial.
Where? Is that the Facebook one?
Yeah, that they must have just left by the time I checked back together.
Because this one was just
They
like some
were-
dude hitting on a girl.
Oh, yeah, a little bit ago, the protest group, they were coming from the bridge from Lake Street to Marshall and St. Paul.
Okay.
They got turned back, and they walked all the way back past the memorial, and near the memorial, there's a group of men that have the intersection blocked off and are guarding. Okay.
I did a little digging, Corey, and I found out the Grand Ole Opry's only had a little bit of minimal damage done to it, and that's the old one. So it didn't burn down. It was just the original Grand Ole Opry in downtown had a little bit of damage done, but it's fine.
That's disappointing. We're gonna grab some food. I'll be right back.
Some food. This guy's literally just watching other feeds on his phone, like, because nothing's going on where he's at. That's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, let's find something cool to watch. God, I'm so fucking tired. I feel like that's all I've been doing, is just watching feeds for the last 4 days. Yeah. I mean, if it's way more mellow tonight,
Yeah, we can't let them forget.
Tomorrow and Monday will be much better.
Big appreciation, Mike Dean. I'm gonna keep the feet up.
It's time for pathology. Guys, is Washington, D.C. still kind of popping off?
Okay, yeah. These guys are westbound of us, heading eastbound. There's another.
Not that I've seen.
Not that you've seen. Like all the feeds are kind of dying, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. Hey, I'm gonna call it a night. Hopefully everybody stays safe and nothing else happens too big. So.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. It looks like a lot of these feeds are dying anyway. So like, it's gonna be getting harder to find some of these things going another night. I don't hear anything over by me right now in St. Louis Park. It's like a ghost town outside right now. But if they got everything choked off inside of the city, I would imagine it's pretty hard to get anywhere from here. Joey's
CBS News Network just showed a feed from Hawaii, and they're protesting out there.
Oh, look, Hawaii. Hell yeah.
It's a lot more colorful out there.
Aloha. It means hello and fuck you at the same time.
What up?
What up? So looking at the live feeds, I have Iowa, Las Vegas. What up? So Iowa's going on. Iowa State Capitol, Indianapolis,
Des Moines. Yeah, they were there.
I gotta try something.
downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Bakersfield, that's I know where that's at. Oklahoma City's going off right now.
Yo. I'm in Chicago on 38. I'm in Chicago on 38. Shit, hear some.
What up?
Shit, hear some.
You already said
that's a good amount.
What up?
You already said
Whoa.
What up?
You already said
Whoa.
You already said
Yeah, they up on Lake Street.
Corey,
It's peaceful as hell over here. Ain't nobody over here burning nothing. Ain't nobody over here yelling. And it's like 60 people over here. Everybody yelling. Yeah. It's like 60 people over here. Everybody yelling. Yeah. It's like 60 people over here.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
Hi, I'm back. What up?
And they realized people weren't going away.
Once they lost the third precinct, this became an event, not just in the upper Midwest, but the nation. And the call went out, let's get out to Minneapolis because we think we've got a toehold there. And I think that's really the explanation. And the reason things have gone so well, it looks easy, it hasn't been. Let's face it, it took us 5 very bad days to get to this point.
No doubt.
What do you think is going to be
very bad days to get to this point?
Yeah.
You know what strategically might have been the right answer?
What?
You skip the protest tonight, but then you show up in force tomorrow.
That would have been.
Right? Like you have all these National Guard, like, wait, what the fuck? And then they don't come out the next night, and then you just hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard 70,000, but the crowds didn't look that fierce. It didn't look any more fierce. Yeah, it didn't look any more fierce than they have been anyway.
Charging dinner by Atsu.
Minnesota. Oh, Portland.
For scope. There's talk tonight that the Biden campaign is just, not to get political tonight, but I just have to tell you because it is a national headline, that the Biden campaign is very leery of her right now as a vice presidential candidate because they think she will simply bring up all these issues because she is a Minnesota senator who is a former prosecutor in Hennepin County, and that's going to bring up a lot of questions that all revolve around what's happened here in the last 5 days.
That's crazy.
What's that?
What that dude just said. All right, well, hey, we're dropping to below 30, so I don't want to kill this channel's average. We've had a great show. I'm gonna head out. If anybody wants to keep interacting, I'm gonna sit here and keep watching. Go over to Discord. Also, I will be playing Pirates later.
I will be sleeping late.
Follow TwitchTok Cast to watch me stream. That is rad. Tovar's going to bed like an old man.
I'll be around for a while.
Old woman.